functionality. So let's come. Component did mount, how it work. We have to understand. Come to the constructor. We have three sections now. Constructor, function, component did mount, and next is called render. Okay. We have four sections now. One is called constructor, get item, component did mount, and after that render. So come to the constructor and keep an alert here. Call constructor. Second, after that, come to the component did mount. Next, come after that, render. Constructor, render, component did mount. Keep alert all three places. Fine. Now see what is the sequence. First is constructor, second one render, third one component did mount. Constructor, render, component did mount. Go to other component, come back to this component, constructor, then render, then component. That is the sequence. First constructor will call, it will create a variable, item list. Second render will call, it will display the HTML structure. Third component did mount will come and it will bring the data. People ask how it is going to execute. How it is going to execute? What is the sequence? So the first sequence is, first will execute which one? Constructor. Second will be component did mount. Third will be called render.
Sir, why render is coming 2 times?
Render is coming 2 times because, see, first what will happen? Constructor came, constructor created the variable. Second, render will come, render will come, render will generate the HTML. After render, automatically this will call. Which one? Component did mount. Component did mount will come and it will call this function, get item function. Get item function will call and it will bring the data from the JSON. And after bringing the data from the JSON, again it will update under the state. Which variable? Item list. Item list will get updated. So as soon as you update the value under the state, as soon as you update the value under the state, again render will call. Because of that, render is calling how many times? 2 times. Render is calling 2 times. First time render is calling after the constructor. First constructor call, then render call, and render displays the empty value. Let me show you here. I will go to other component and come back here. Constructor, render, component did mount. See, component did mount is executed. Data has come. Then what happened? Render has called. See as of now, data is showing anywhere? No. Once the render will re-execute, then only data will come here. If I do OK, then this data will come. Because of that, this one is calling 2 times. Render is calling 2 times. Once in the beginning of the execution, and second once state is getting update. Once in the beginning of the execution, and second once the state get update. Okay, operating. So one button will keep, one function will load on. So here in this page, constructor alert I have written, I will comment this command. Here also comment I will close down. Here also comment will close down. So this get item function we will call not on load. We will call another function on load. This is let it be on button click. This is let it be on button click. Now write another function. See, now what we have done is we have removed on load. See, we have removed on load. When click will happen, then only data will come here. On click data came. We'll write another function that will come on load. Come to the code again. Write another state variable. Give a state variable call. Instead of item list, give call user list. User list. Okay. Now we'll write a function here. Get user. Yes, I deleted from there. I will call now another function. This dot get user function. Okay, ready? Get user function. Now under the get user function again we are going to read the data from other source. Go here, write a function called fetch. Inside the fetch call user.json JSON user.json dot then user.json dot then response will come from there. That response dot JSON you have to do dot then user array will come. This user array will keep an alert here. User array dot already. So what is giving error on load because that function is not exist. Get user function we call, but this is not available. User.json is not exist as of now. So what will come is under the get, see, this shows some error. Some errors come, some error. Component did mount, we call get user. So this dot get user again we made a mistake. Should be fat arrow function. Should be based on fat arrow method. Create next file get user.json. Now alert should come. the error. Okay, no problem. This function we can write user.json file. We need to create in public folder. User.json
Sorry, it will be created in public folder only.
public folder because it will be pointing to the public folder directly. User.json. This should be a multi-dimensional array. The square bracket open close. Name of the user. Ganesh. Age of the user. 40 years. Name. Age. Education. Edu we can write. Okay, hope ready. Change the value.
Right.
So array is ready. Check now. It's giving us a 6 now. When your page will reload, it will give the 6 element. We are able to get the length. Now this data we have to display in page in table. This data we have to display in the page in table. Come to that class 5.js file. Name age education. So here instead of putting as an alert get user, we have to call here set state. Set state user list colon user array. Right, hope I did. Come down below. We can display this data after this in a table. After this, we can create another table. That's one we can write. Label users. Table. If label user, we can display the length first. This dot state dot user list dot length. Okay, hope ready. Check now. On load length is coming. Available user 6 and this will come on click. This on click list of items will come and this will come on load. Now we can go to the table. Cell spacing. T head. TR. TH. Serial number. Next TH. Full name. Next TH. edge, next edge, education. Okay, ready? Next, after that, heading will be there simple. We can write one border also. Border equal to 2. Then cell spacing. Spacing. Cell spacing we are given, then keep 0. Cell padding 9, right? Cell padding give 10 or 15. Then give border color. Green color. Single line border will come. Now let's fill the data. Open the T body. Close the T body. Long bracket to close. The return. Return we cannot write directly. We have to write this dot, state dot, user list dot, map. User info, comma index. Right here return. Return tr. with key property. User input dot name. Age and education. Education
Serial number.
serial number we have missed out in the beginning. Index plus 1 you can give. It will give you sequences 1, 2, 3. So in table, whenever you want to bring a single line border, you will remember this. Cell padding should be some number. Cell spacing should be 0. If you give cell spacing 0, single line border will come.
Sir, you will hit the button load data. Data is zero. But again, you will give the load data button. Data is hide. Hold this.
The data will not hide from here. For that, we have to do something else. Data will not hide if you click again. This array you can make empty. Again, if you click, you can display the array. Simple, not difficult. You can go here. Whenever you click, create a button here. A variable called counter :0. Counter :0. On click, which function you are calling? On click, you are calling this function, no? Get item, right? Get item only we are calling.
Yes.
Inside get item, we can write a condition here. Okay. We can write a condition here. What condition we can write? If this dot state dot counter mod 2 equal to 0. That means the first click. That meaning it is a first click. Then what to do? Display the data, read from array and display here. Else, but here under the promise we can write if else or not or no. So let me check it. Else, you go here, and here you have to increase the counter. Counter colon this dot state dot counter plus 1. Okay, else again you have to call the set state. Set state counter will be increased by 1, but this item array will be set by empty. So when you click first time, data will come. If you click second time, data will not come. Let me show you once, then you can try it. Click first time, data came. Click again, data gone. Again click, data will come. Again click, data will go. Yeah.
Can we also change the show data, hide data means text inside the button?
Hide so you can do, but hide so data will be there only. You will hide that. In this case, what is happening? Data is not there. Data you are setting by empty. Data you are setting by empty here. Complete. But and counter you increased. This
No,
much.
I was asking the inner text of the button.
Hmm. You want to
Change the inner text of the button.
inner text. Inner text why you will change? You want to play with the button or data? Let user click. User click first time, data will come. Again he will click, data will go. So how data will come? If array will have data, then data will come. If array will have no data, data will not come. So in first case, when I click first time, initial value of counter was how much? 0. So we checked here. Is it 0? No, it's after mod. Is it 0? Yes, 0. Then what to do? User has clicked first time. Then take the value, send to the array. Again user will click. Now counter value will not be 0. It will become as a 1 odd number. It will go to where? Else. So it only if it is the even number, then only it will increase the and print the value. Odd number will go to the else part. It will not display anything.
Sir, I was asking about the text of the button.
You want to change the text of button.
Means when the data will be there, it will show hide data. When the user will click there, data will be hidden, and the button text will be show data. When the user will click button, data will come.
You can change. No? It's just simple here. Go here, create a text label. Label label colon show data. Show data. Add this. Show data. Okay, hope ready. Now come down. First time, value is what? Show data. Once the user will click on button, then call the same variable hide data. Again, the user will click. It will go here and it will convert into show data. If data sent, then hide data. If data erased, then show data. Okay, hope ready. Now come down. The variable we have called label. Label variable we have to call for button. Button we have here inside the button. We can call that label variable. This dot state dot label. This dot state dot label. Okay, hope ready. Right, so happening by default show data. Now after that, table code is here. Check that.
So what is callback?
Dot then you are calling it. That is called callback function. A function behind function is called a callback function. After execution of each function, you are calling is a then function. That is called a callback function. After then you are calling another then, that is called a callback function. After execution of a function, when we call another function, that is called a callback. Call when? After execution. That is called a callback function. Okay. Now let us go inside. And then this is working. Next, we can create another component. Or in the same component, we can bring the data from one more place. Right, one more function here. Get user we have written. Get user. Write one more function, but before that, you have to create an array for that. Create an array. Give the array name called car list colon square bracket.
It is possible to create this JavaScript.
Possible. Now come down below. Copy this function. Get user. Paste below again. Inside that, you can write here car array. Car array. Then we can write for car list. Then we can assign the car array. This will become as a get car.
Sir,
Tell me, sir.
sir, that component did mount what it is actually doing in our code. Means when I removed that line, it didn't get any data in the table.
It will execute on page load. Once your page load will finish, automatically component did mount will call. And inside the component did mount, whichever the function will call, all function will get executed automatically. In JavaScript, if you remember a function is called onload. In JavaScript, we have a function called onload. Onload function. You know onload function?
Yes.
Onload
Sir,
function
here,
on page load.
JavaScript command line.
In JavaScript, there is a called onload. In React.js, the function name is called component did mount. It get execute at the end of the component execution. It get call after the render function automatically. Which one? Component did mount will execute after render. When? Once the page loading will get finished, then component did mount will execute automatically. You can say it's load on page load. It call on page load. Call on page load. So when on page load will happen, component did mount will call automatically, and inside the component did mount, now how many function you want to call, you call it. All will get executed. So now we are calling get user and get car. So once the component did mount will happen, means once the page load will happen, automatically this both function will get called. Because component did mount will call on component, that is called life cycle function. Component did mount is a life cycle function of JavaScript.
Sir, component did mount, the work of component did mount is to call that function, right? Get user, get car, it is calling those functions only after function definition.
Not used to call the function, okay? Why you listen half? I'm saying it will get execute on page load. It will get execute when on page load. Now on page load, what you want, you can do that. On page load, it will call component did mount. Now inside you call the function or open the Google or do anything your ways. So under the component did mount, we are calling two functions, get user and get car. Both function will get executed automatically when on page load. On page load function, you know, in JavaScript.
Yes, sir.
It's the same here.
Achha. So this is a React predefined method, right? That
Life
component.
cycle function, that is called life cycle function of class component. Life cycle function of class component. Life cycle function of class component. Life cycle functions are those functions that execute automatically on page load. Okay, now let's go ahead. Go ahead. And this function, see, if you cut this function, suppose get user, get comment, if I cut from here, commented here, you will see data will not come. See, data has not come here. Data came, data not come. Meaning is what? Page has loaded. Component is mount also execute. But function is commented. Function is commented. Function is commented. If the function will call, then only it will give the output. Okay, now let me go here. Keep a alert
We are
here.
using one button also.
One button is for the other function.
Call out component.
That is for this one. Get user, you are calling for the button click. Get user, you are calling on button click. Button click. Okay. Get user, we call on button click. So what we have, another one we have here call get user one. One more we have get user only. The one is called get item. So get item. Yeah, get item was here.
We create HTML for that.
Get item, no, get item is on load. Sorry, get item is on click. See here, get item you are calling when on click. Plus get user you are calling on load. On load. You are calling on load. You are
We
calling.
don't use the component amount. We can use one button. Table. So that
Which one?
user list.
User list. User list.
We use one button in HTML. HTML.
That button is for the item purpose. This button is for the item. And this user is coming on load. Why you are confused? Look at here now. Get user, are you calling anywhere? Anywhere are you calling? On button click? No. So when it's called on load, when the page will load, it will call automatically.
for functional component, there is some other method, right?
Use effect. In functional component, we have called use effect. Now come down. For car list, we can use a different URL here. I will share the URL in your chat. Car.php. Send in the chat. Okay, pretty. Save now. Then come, we'll display the car array. We'll go onto the car list. Now, next after that, this get car function we need to call here, so that when the page will load, automatically this function will call. Which function? Get user is already calling. Get car will also fail. Okay, pretty. Come now below, inside the page, we'll print somewhere length of the car. After this table, write one H1, total car list. This dot, state dot, car list dot length. This dot state dot car list dot length. Check now, any length is coming. Come to the page, car, how many car? 23. Hmm? Length print. Error. Are your length is coming, Subhasis?
Yes, sir, 23.
Function. Function is here. First in component with mount we call this dot car list,
Yes, sir.
this dot get car. Come down. This get car function you have written. You have created the array here. This one car list. This array is there in the state.
Yes, sir.
Then it should come here. There we go. Get car. Convert this on HTTPS. 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 After we apply the S. HTTPS. Yeah, now you click on the button. Yes. Get car, fetch, then set state car list, car array. Come to that down. HTML part. Car list.length. So let's check now. Problem is with the array. Okay, go here. So when you come down, this dot car list. Okay, this function is here. Fine. Okay, so hope length is coming versus
Sir, which length?
length is coming, length, car length.
Car length 23.
Yeah, so we'll work tomorrow again. We will display page here and then we'll see how to post the data. How to post the data. 23 cars are there in that. The car list, we have nested array. Array inside array. There you will have very good exposure. How to read the data from the multi-level of array.
What is the problem?
I will guide you. Okay, fine then. We'll end